Hello, and thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to talk to you about Camping 101 so that you can get outside and enjoy campfires and stargazing and hiking while you're out there, even maybe some stand up paddleboarding if you're near water, camp cooking, and so much more. So for today, everybody is welcome to this session. If you're a new camper, for sure, we're going to go through everything. If you're an experienced camper, this will still be good for you today if you want a refresher or if you just want to, get some of the tips from our experiences camping, or if you're just camping curious, like you're not 100% sure if you want to go camping yet, but you just kind of want to find out what it's all about, then you are in the right place. And I hope today is a little bit different of an experience for you than you've had in the past. One, I'm going to share some of my secrets and stories to camping. And two, you get to know me just a little bit better before we jump into the woods and go camping together, which hopefully you will want to do by the end of this presentation. Okay, so we have a lot to cover. So I want to make sure that you guys grab a pen and paper in case anything's new to you and you want to go ahead and write it down, because if anything resonates with you today, what I'm going to ask you to do is take action on the items that resonate with you. And we like to reward action takers. So what we're going to do, because you've already taken action and showed up today for the webinar. So we're going to reward that action by sending you out a list of our gear recommendations so that you don't waste your money, because we know that gear can be expensive and there's lots of stuff out there that you might as well just skip right over and spend your money on the good stuff. We're going to email that to you, so don't worry about having to do anything about it right now. We will get that to you after the presentation. And if you stay to the end of the presentation, we've got even more good stuff, because we're going to tell you how you can go camping with us. One of the big reasons that I wanted to do this Camping 101, Camp Like a Pro, is because a lot of times camping can start to feel really overwhelming. There's so much that goes into it, including reserving your camp spots. How do you know where to go? How do you make sure you're going to get a spot even? They do fill up very quickly in the good places that you actually want to go camping and the good times of the year. Also, worrying about how to set up a tent or which tents to get. What gear do you need? There's so much gear, so much gear. This is me preparing for a 12 or 15 person camping trip. So basically I laid out all of the gear, organized it into bins. There's a lot that can go into it. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the gear. And what are you going to eat? Like, food is actually one of the biggest reasons that people are hesitant to go camping. And it always surprises me because I love cooking and I do a lot of cooking on the camping trip. So this one's an easy one for me, but I get it. How are you going to cook outside? It's different. You have to have things set up a little bit differently, but we're going to go through that as well. And then, are you able to start and maintain a fire? So maintaining a fire, and if you're going to use a fire for cooking or just if it gets cold at night. But camping is meant to be relaxing and it's meant to be fun and it's meant to be, just a release from your stressful life. So what we're going to do today is help you figure out how to enjoy those sunsets and the stargazing, how you can be comfortable, and how you can camp like a pro, even if it's your first time. So let's get into it. All right, this is me. I'm just kidding. But this was similar kind of to a situation that I was in, or what I imagined what I was going to be in originally when I set up my tent next to this gorgeous view that was overlooking a valley. I was in Colorado. It was one of the first times I went camping by myself. And I picked up a cheap tent at a used gear store. I got it for maybe $20. So I set up my tent. I'm so excited. I've got this gorgeous view in Colorado. And then I enjoyed the evening, get in the tent, lay down and go to sleep, and then the wind picks up. So I'm laying there and I'm just like, oh man. And I'm thinking, I'm so glad that this tent had stakes, because the first two tents that I borrowed from people did not have stakes included in it. And that's a different adventure when you don't have stakes to hold your tent down. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm so glad that I have stakes and that everything's set up. But then the wind starts picking up even more. So I actually go outside of my tent, grab the biggest rocks I can find, bring them inside the tent with me, and I'm putting them in all the different corners. And I'm laying there, and the wind is so strong that the poles are literally hitting me in the head. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to blow off the side of this mountain. So here I am thinking I'm going to just wake up in the morning to this gorgeous view. I've got this great spot, which I did, but now I'm stressing that I'm in this $20 tent that's already used. I'm wondering, is it even going to hold up? Well, fast forward to the morning. I made it. Obviously, I'm still here. I didn't blow off the side of the mountain, but I was camping by myself. And if something had happened, I was like, well, I guess nobody would know what happened to me. I would just be gone. So that was kind of when I was like, okay, I do enjoy camping by myself, but sometimes it's just a lot more fun to camp with fun people around you. So camping can be fun alone, but camping with other people, making sure that you're safe, is just, now I sit around the campfire and I laugh about that story with friends. So check the weather. There's lots of lessons to learn, because little things make a big difference. You don't have to spend a fortune to get the good gear, to have what you need to be prepared for these situations when they come up. Okay, before we get any kind of gear, you want to know what kind of camping you're interested in, because you don't want to get one tent that's really made to do a specific type of camping and then realize that you want to do something completely different, and then you have to start all over with buying gear. So we're going to start with the different types of camping. First is glamping and RVing. I kind of put these in together. Now, this is like this extreme, like when you see those yurts, you pretty much have an actual bed inside the yurts, or these A-frames or sheltered areas, refrigerators, air conditioning a lot of times. So this is going to cost you a lot more money, because you're going to either be paying for the location, you're paying for the amenities, you're paying for everything. Okay, so we've got the camping and RVing. Now, this bottom right picture, this is a picture of my RV. For those of you who don't know, I live full-time in my RV. I love it, and I'm going to do a separate training on RVing. I don't really call RVing camping. Some people do. A lot of people call RVing camping, and to me, camping means like you're in a tent. Okay, the next type of camping is the pretty much exact opposite of that, which is backpacking. And this is where you are literally carrying everything on your back and going to these primitive areas. So you're not going to have very many amenities at all. You're pretty much, you find a spot and set up whatever you were able to carry with you. But this can still be pricey, because in order to get the gear that's light enough to carry, the lighter the gear, typically the more expensive the gear is. Then we have tent camping, which is basically now the gear is getting cheaper, because you can have bigger gear, you can have heavier gear, you can have any kind of amenities. You can get sites that are more primitive still and are away from the hustle and bustle of the crowds, or you can get busy, sites in busier parks. And there's a bigger variety of things that you can do with tent camping. And the last one is car camping. Now, car camping, some people, use the term car camping as in you're literally sleeping in your car, which is perfectly fine. People do that. I have done that. I did a road trip where we, the group was meeting in Grand Teton and Yellowstone for a week, and I took a week and drove up there. Everybody else flew. We spent a week in the national parks, and then I took a week and drove back, and I slept in my car the whole way on the drive. So you can sleep in your car, but I also use the term car camping to mean literally you just bring whatever you can fit in your car, your coffee pot, your air mattress, your kayaks, your bikes, everything that fits in that car, you are bringing. You can sleep in a tent, you can sleep in a hammock tent, or you can sleep in your car. So for me, car camping is just a more luxurious form of tent camping. Okay. Oh, yes. And they have the tents that attach to the cars, which, you can put on the top of the car on a roof rack, or some of them, if you have an SUV, you can pop up the back of the SUV. This tent actually is one of the ones that fits on the back of the SUV. So basically where the opening is, you just back your car up to it, and now your car and your tent are connected. So I wanted to show you this because this is also what I consider car camping, but she's in a tent. So this is one of our long-term members. This was at Lake Somerville when we're doing a relaxing camping trip. Then she likes to bring her bigger tent. This is a 6-person tent, set up a little table, have her air mattress. And this was in December. So she has an electric blanket to help keep her warm. So she didn't need the real expensive sleeping bag that keeps you warm, because she had the electric blanket and then just a regular blanket. And then everything organized into bins. The bin system is fantastic for camping. And it's just fun. So it's still relaxing, but you have more niceties with you. Okay, so which type of camper are you, or do you want to be? Now, keep in mind, you could be all of these. Which type of camper are you looking to be right now? Or if you're already camped, do you backpack? Do you tent camp? Do you want to get into RVing? I've done all of these. I live full time in the RV. I've gone backpacking. We just had a group come back from Havasu Falls in the Grand Canyon, and I did that in 2008. I kind of started out a little bit more real primitive stuff. And that's how a lot of people start out, real primitive, because it takes time to accumulate some of this gear, right? So you can start out just backpacking and tent camping. And backpacking can be cheap if you're able to carry weights. So each one has pros and cons to it. So now this is me. This is all of that gear that you saw all over the floor in my house. Then this is it all packed up, packed up and ready to go on the camping trip. So bring in the kayaks and the stand-up paddle boards and tents and everything. So